Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 videos as we head into Friday, July 30th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of technical analysis and how it can be used to make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. And real quick, before I get started, just keep in the back of your mind that if you do like what you hear as I go through the presentation, that I am offering a free live class actually this evening, depending on when you watch this video. Now, if you're watching this on Friday morning, then the class will have passed, but you can still sign up and see a recording of it. But point being, if you do enjoy what you're seeing, if you can see the potential and want to learn more about it, then I want to personally invite you to get signed up for the live class. That'll be, like I said, this evening. So just keep that in your mind, that if you like what you hear, then I am offering this class. First one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. What a monster move. I should note that I'm looking at the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes worth of time. And on that note, you can see that basically one 30-minute session straight up, next 30-minute session straight up, and then even the next two 30-minute sessions continue to grind upwards. Now it has consolidated out here a little bit, but going into Friday, definitely a very nice pattern here. And the level here that I'm very curious about is this breakout point right here from that trend line, which would now be considered an area of support. And that's just good old-fashioned technical analysis. When areas of resistance are broken, they tend to act as support. So if Tesla does pull back some more, very curious, can it back test there and then continue on up? So that's kind of the big question mark in my mind going forward. And that level will give or take right around the $670 mark. So from a pullback perspective, 670, a very, very interesting level. From an overall breakout standpoint, let me squeeze down the chart here a little bit. Definitely the key level of resistance now to watch very, very closely here. Going to be right up there around the 687 mark. So 687, 688, right around there. I mean, we're talking about a $600 stock. So give or take a couple of dollars, but right around that general area will be the breakout point there if this thing's going to build that much more momentum. But definitely a very interesting setup here headed into Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because it's basically the third day in a row that I've included in the top 10 and talking about the same exact level. So if you watch the past videos, this should all sound very familiar. If not, then just, the main overarching levels. First off, that overall trend line right there. So from the support side of things, good to see that the price has continued to hold above that level. And as I've said in the past videos and will continue to say, let me squeeze this down, as long as the price is above that trend line, then overall, you got to give the advantage to the bulls because it does imply that the price is still trending upwards. So from that angle of things, like I said, nothing new to report other than the fact that the price is continuing to respect that trend line. So continue to watch that. And then the level that once again has shown up, and again, been talking about it over and over again, is that very stubborn pink line, the 200 period moving average. Now, on the bright side, at least the price was able to break above it on several occasions today. But like back here, just because the price broke above it, when it came to actually being able to stay up above it, that's where the price has, continued to struggle. So on that note, because the price is now back down below that pink line there, it still remains that main area of resistance, and the current value of the 200 period moving average now is right up there around the $39 mark. So $39 main level of resistance, and again, main level of support, that overall trend line. Next one here, ticker symbol HOOD, Robinhood, which had its IPO today. One note, I am using 5-minute time frame on this one. So instead of each one of these candlesticks representing the 30 minutes, they now represent 5, just because there's not a whole lot of data because it just IPO'd today. But nonetheless, still can get quite a bit of information from this. So overall, I would say a relatively disappointing day. But let's map out some of these key levels here. So the first level that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching, rightfully so, is going to be right down there around $33.50. No fancy reasoning other than the fact of, well, that's just simply where this crazy bloodshed here finally stopped. And not only did it stop, it did actually produce a nice bounce, and the price is getting within striking distance of $33.50. So if the price goes down there, nothing's guaranteed, but is it at least a valid, is it at least a rational thought of, okay, maybe this is some sort of double bottom where it can bounce again? Yeah. That's by no means random. That's not like you're just making something up. That's a valid thought process to have. Again, not a guaranteed thought process, but it's at least a rational choice. So down there at that 33.50 going to be that key level of support that, again, a lot of people will be watching. And then as far as levels of resistance are concerned, kind of twofold. In the near term, right there at that $37 mark is going to be a main level. And then after 37, next key level up there, well, that makes it easy, right at basically the $38 mark. So on any sort of attempted turnaround back to the upside, 37, 38 going to be those main breakout points. But as right now, definitely quite a bit of selling pressure has showed up. So I don't think anybody would be surprised if it gets down to 33.50, which just brings up that big question. Can it hold and produce a bounce, or is it going to break down through and then create that much more chaos? Next one here, ticker symbol XBIO, and wow, what a crazy final well, final 5 minutes we're watching here, but I actually forgot to change that. So we're not going to look at the 5 minute. Let me change this back to the 30 minute. But crazy, as you just saw right there, nice final 5 minutes. And you can see right here, just a very, very impressive close to the day here. And because the market closes in less than 1 minute. But like I said, as far as what I'm going to talk about, feel totally comfortable, talking about right now. But the key dynamic here that's officially happened is that the price has been able to break up through that main area of resistance right around $4.50. So because of that, just a foundational rule in charting applies now when levels of resistance are broken and closed above. You want to see them act as support. So going into Friday, if you're somebody that prefers to see pullbacks because you don't want to chase the price, so if the price can't pull back there, 450, a very, very interesting level where the price could potentially, continue then to turn back around. But if the price does want to continue on upwards, well then as far as the bigger picture chart is concerned, as you're seeing here, that would be putting it up at levels that have not been seen for a very, very long time. So definitely a good problem to have right now in terms of the pattern. But really in technical jargon, what has occurred now is that the pattern has just been broken because we had that area right there. We had this trend line like there. So we had this ascending triangle pattern and a breakout had occurred, which now just leads to the valid question of, all right, the breakout has occurred. Is this the start of something much bigger? Or in technical jargon, is this pattern breakout going to get continuation? And that'll be a very interesting dynamic here, moving forward into Friday. Again, if you're somebody that prefers to see pullbacks, 450, no guarantees it'll ever revisit that area. But if you like to kind of play the back test of breakout areas, 450 would be a location to keep an eye on. But yeah, no doubt about it, closed very strong. Lots of eyeballs we'll be watching on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol TELL. Monstrous volume came in, more so not the entire day, but just in the afternoon, and the price behaved very nicely with it. And then also what we just talked about from a pullback perspective, hey, at least this one has already started to pull back. So if you're somebody that's worried about FOMO, fear of missing out, are you chasing the price and going to get a bad entry point? Well, at this point, you can't really be accused of chasing the price. Now, people that FOMO'd right there and bought, yeah, they're probably a little bit nervous right now as there's been a bigger pullback. But just sitting from the sidelines, it has started to pull back now. It just kind of is, all right, well, where's a potential area as a pullback that would make a lot of sense? And right there at right around $3.85, not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination because nothing is guaranteed. But is it at least a valid, rational area to think that the price could pull back to and then potentially bounce up? Yeah, absolutely. So 385 is going to be that key level of support. Maybe you are a breakout player and you're thinking, no, I prefer to buy breakouts. Well, to me, $4.20 is going to be that main breakout area. Or maybe, just on Friday, the price just kind of chops around in between these two levels. And if that would be the case, well, then what that's going to give you is, let me get it drawn out here, what we would call a bull flag pattern. So that's always possible that maybe none of these areas gets tested. It's just kind of choppiness, and which isn't a bad thing because from a pattern development standpoint, you'd have a bull flag at that point. So we'll see how it goes on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol NTEC. I don't think I paused the last one right away. So sorry for the awkward, maybe me just trying to figure out if I paused it or not. But NTEC, again, same exact logic. Big movement up. And now it's started to pull back here, which has created a very, very nice pattern. So the top part of this pattern, the breakout area, just going to be that trend line right there. But at the same time, this is going on. We have a nice lower part of the pattern right around there. So let me actually change that to green to represent more so the support part of the pattern. And then if I were to just put in the pull portion of the pattern, so draw that down, that would be known as, again, a good old-fashioned bull flag pattern. So really that's the easiest way to summarize this one headed into Friday, just 30-minute time frame, bull flag pattern. So it's just a question that goes back to, what do you prefer? If you're looking to buy potentially pullbacks, then right there you have the bottom part of the trend line. You have the 200 period moving average right around 1275. If you like to see things kind of show signs of power first and break out, well then if the price gets up to right around the $15, $16 mark, then that could be a potential breakout area where it would, in technical jargon, be a technical pattern breakout. And at that point, that could generate some momentum in and of itself. But overall, anyway, look at it. Very, very nice bull flag pattern here on NTEC. Next one here, NSAV, heading down in the world of penny stocks. And you got to give credit where credit's due. When penny stocks start to move, I mean, those percentages can really add up. And you can see that right here. Good solid volume on the day and had a very nice breakout and is now kind of doing some consolidating. But the level here that stands out to me, I think more than anything else, would be down here right around the 0.062 mark, which seems to be a more... Safe's not the right word because, nothing is safe, right? Risk comes with everything. But as opposed to buying up here, rather than having the price come down there. Buying up here, you're definitely taking on a lot more risk if you could be buying the top. But to be fair, maybe you're just buying the start of a whole new breakout. But I mean, this thing had such a big move today. It's at least, I think, in my opinion, valid and rational to think that some sort of pullback could be coming. But like I said, there's no guarantee. So maybe this is literally just a start of something much bigger to the upside. But the point here being is there's very clearly a nice uptrend already in place that can be seen by the increasing 50 period moving average there. So uptrend in place, very clearly a whole lot of momentum given the rapid rate of ascension here that has been going on. So it's just really a question of what's your strategy. If you're looking to play momentum and you're looking to just get in and just ride the wave of momentum, then maybe you don't think buying up here is crazy. But if you're somebody that wants to maybe see a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a breath, maybe play some sort of consolidation that turns into a bullish pattern, then in my mind, 0.062 makes a lot of sense. But anyway, look at it. Whole lot of volume, great price movement. So we'll see how it goes on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol NAOV. Very nice looking chart here, namely because the volume returned in a very big way. Granted, it did pull back here a little bit, but with the pullback, nothing has been violated from an overall sense. What do I mean by that? Well, by just looking at that purple line right there, as I talked about in yesterday's video of the top 10, which is why I put it on yesterday's list, was because the price is still holding above. It's still respecting that 50 period moving average. So I get it. If you bought right there, then yeah, you're having to sit through some pain right here. But from an overall standpoint, price is still above that moving average. So you got to still, respect and give the bulls the benefit of the doubt for right now. So continue to watch that as that main area of support. Current value of the purple line there at $2.04. In terms of areas of resistance, well, it's become very clear right now that they're kind of a random area, but right up there around $2 and let's call it 90 cents is where the seller stepped in on 3 separate occasions, a couple of times right there, and then one final time right there. So if there is any healthy consolidation and then a move back to the upside, that's where the big question mark resides, is can the price get the break of 290? And if it can, then you basically have a little miniature blue sky breakout, as the next area of resistance would not be up until right around 375. Now, I'm not saying if it breaks there, it's shooting straight up to 375 within 2 seconds. My point is, just from a technical point of view, looking back through the data of the chart, it's just a no man's land, or as I like to call it, a blue sky area. So we'll see how it plays out. Next one here, AMD did this in yesterday's top 10 list, and I was talking about 95, and it did pull back some more, but never got close to 95, and then just took off like a rocket again. So the main premise behind doing this one, and I realize I state the obvious, but this has got a whole lot of momentum behind it right now. No doubt about it, I state the obvious when I say that. So with that momentum, it's very interesting to see this pullback here, because a lot of momentum. It seems like it could be bad, and maybe it will get a little bit worse, and the price keeps on coming down. But my point here is that it's nothing's guaranteed, but it's at least rational to think that this is just going to be a temporary pullback before the momentum carries it back upwards. Yeah, that's a valid thought process. That's rational to think that way. Once again, let me be very clear. Not guaranteed to happen, but by no means is that throwing a dart and just randomly guessing and making something up. No, very clear, a lot of upwards momentum. You got the pullback. If it can pull back a bit more, then it's more than valid to think that pull back and then resume back up. And even if you let it pull back, it's not like you even need the price to break to new highs at that point. I mean, and I'm just making this up, if you're getting down around here and it bounces up just halfway, well, from a trade perspective relative to what you would be risking, there's some good RVR there, risk versus reward. So let's see if this pulls back some more, and if it does, like I said, because of that overarching momentum, you gotta like the odds that it's got a great chance of at least bouncing back upwards. Next one here, ticker symbol DIDI, and the trendline break has continued. Talked about that in yesterday's video. So at this point, it's all about just kind of measuring the health of the bounce. This is what I've been talking about over and over again, and just saying at some point this thing is going to turn around. Now, I'm not willing to say that this is a reversal and it's going to continue to reverse, but just from a bounce perspective, it's very clearly happened that it's bouncing now, showing some signs of strength, which leads to the next question of, okay, Clay, fair enough, but how do you continue to gauge? How do you measure these signs of strength? And for me, it's all about the purple line there, as I've talked about already several times, the 50 period moving average, because as the name states, that level is going to move itself higher and higher. So it's basically like a trend line, or as I like to call them, trend lines for lazy people. If you don't feel like drawing the trend line, let the moving average draw it for you, meaning as long as the price stays above that trend line, then that means the price is putting in higher lows. And by default, by definition, well, that's what bullish moves do. They're going to put in higher lows over time. So the most straightforward way to just gauge the health of this current bounce, just watch that 50 period moving average. As long as the price is above it, that implies the price is putting in higher lows, which is what you want. And then as far as, the next big hurdle that'll need to be cleared if this bounce is going to continue, all eyes on that pink line there, the 200 period moving average, which if you think back to AMC, has been a very stubborn area, and that's currently valued at $10.65. So a lot of people will be watching that. I'd expect there to be quite a bit of selling pressure up around that area. Doesn't mean that it can't push through, but in my opinion, at least, it definitely means the bulls are going to have to bring their A game if they are going to get that breakout. So that is the top 10 there. And real quick, once again, if you did like what you heard and you want to learn more, you want to learn more about how to use charts, the philosophy behind them, why they work, how they should be used, how they shouldn't be used, then I am offering that live class this evening, Thursday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern time, so that's always the key. But again, I do realize if this is too last minute and it's just, okay, you already have plans, still get signed up because it will be recorded, and then you can get the recording. Or if you're watching this, like I said, on Friday morning, for example, and you still do want to see the recording, just drop me an email, clay@claycharter.com, and I'd be happy to send you the recording of it. But like I said, that'll be live this evening, so get signed up, and you'll learn all about technical analysis as a tool. And then as far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format and if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then please do two things for me to communicate to me that putting these videos together is worth the time and effort, and that is hitting the like button, leaving a simple comment. It could just be thanks. You could put hi, but anything, just hitting the like button and then a simple comment goes a long way. And like I said, communicating to me that it's worth my time and effort to put these videos together. As long as I know it's worth my time and effort, then I will continue to do them. And again, if you're interested in learning more about charts, then get signed up for the class tonight. So hopefully I'll see you there.